I've driven a lot of crazy cars in my day, and none of them get as much attention as this thing. I'm Ezra Dyer for Yahoo Autos, and this thing behind me is the Polaris Slingshot. Business in the front, party in the back. It's a three-wheeler. That allows it to be classified as a motorcycle, which means it doesn't need to meet pesky standards that apply to cars, like, oh, you know, maybe you want to have doors or a roof, emissions equipment, I don't know, airbags, things like that. You don't need all of that. You got a tube frame, you got two wheels in the front, you got your drive wheel in the back, you've got a GM 2.4 liter four-cylinder under the hood. This thing is a riot to drive. You feel like a celebrity when you drive this thing because everybody is breaking out their cameras. So, from the firewall forward, this thing is a car. It's a sports car, but one tire, it is a little bit tail happy. This thing has traction control, and when you turn it off, things can get interesting in a hurry. Now, a lot of states you're going to need a motorcycle license to drive this thing because it is a three-wheeler. It's technically a motorcycle. So that means you're going to need to wear a helmet. And yet these seats, check out the headrest, they stick out like this, so when you're wearing a helmet, that's kind of shoving your head forward. It's almost as if they don't really think that you're going to wear a helmet. And hey, if you're in South Carolina or New Hampshire, you don't have to. What's the difference between this and, say, a Jeep Wrangler with the doors off and the windshield down? You know, you're not going to wear a helmet while you're driving your Wrangler. Why are you going to wear a helmet when you're driving this? I'll meet it halfway with my open-face Captain America helmet. Let's go. So the sensation when you're behind the wheel is that you're driving a car, because you see the two tires up in front, those big well-defined fenders, kind of like a crazy vet, and you don't really remember there's only one tire behind you. Just show you the quickness here. Sound like a sky or a solstice. So then I decided, yeah, it's got enough power the way it is. So the Slingshot goes for 20 grand base price. Strikes me as a pretty good deal because there's plenty of motorcycles that cost 20 grand. And this is like half car, half motorcycle. It's a Centaur. The Slingshot, it's got a couple of idiosyncrasies, sure, but for 20 grand, I mean, what's your competition? Not a car, because no car has this kind of an elemental driving experience with your face out in the wind and you can drag your knuckles on the pavement if you care to. And no motorcycle has this kind of presence. Even after the novelty of it wears off and people stop paying attention to it like it's a Lamborghini or the Batmobile, it's still fun to drive. And so even after it's not the newest thing that nobody's ever seen before, I think that is going to endure, and they're going to do very well with it. For Yahoo Autos, I'm Ezra Dyer. Okay, one drawback, you cannot avoid potholes because you miss them with the front tires, and then boom, there's the mule kick, there was the back tire, that got it. Can't avoid the potholes when you're driving a tripod. That's wisdom from me to you.